This might be the cleverest exploit of a bug in a bot's code I've ever seen, and it was found by someone we'll call Red. Red reached out a week ago and said he found a way to kill Wieldy Slayer bots about 6 months ago and has been exploiting their code ever since. And the email had this screenshot: 6.8 billion GP from these bots. So let's start from the beginning. There are lots of Wieldy Slayer bots in the Wieldy Slayer cave that seem impossible to kill. They tick perfectly, insta-teleport from every player they see. Red saw this and thought, if they're doing Wieldy Slayer in the Slayer cave, they probably do other tasks above level 30 Wilderness where they can't teleport. So he went to check it out, and he was right. These bots are still running, so Red took me out to hunt them. One of the spots he found was at the Fire Giant's cave deep in the Wieldy. And if you hop around at Fire Giants and come across one of these bots, you might be able to freeze it. But as you can see, as soon as you log in, it instantly starts running for the gate, tick perfect reaction to run away, back through the cave, and get gap on you. Or at least it did on me. So the trick here is to use the agility shortcut. You'll beat them to the stairs by 15 seconds, and you can just sit there and wait. Since they're in combat basically the whole way, and it's above 30 Wilderness, they can't log out, they can't teleport, all they can do is run to you while you wait by the stairs. Oddly enough, once they go up the stairs, they run west, not to the mage bank. They also don't use protection prayers, which makes it really easy to kill them. And each kill is worth a decent amount of gold. 1.5 mil, 500k cash from the Dragon Defender, Ether from the Vigorous Chain Mace. It's good loot. And when you kill them, they still have the same Slayer tasks, so you know they're going to go back to the same spot. They do hop worlds, but if they have a decent amount of their task left, it's not too difficult to catch the same bots a couple more times before their task is over. As you can see, the bots have pretty high Slayer. The lower level ones have closer to 75 Slayer, but many of these have over 90. I stacked up 5 keys in about 30 minutes for 7 mil loot. Fire Giants isn't the only task though. You can also catch them at the Magic Axe Hut, for example, but their gear does change based on the task. At the Magic Axe Hut, they don't use Vigor's Chain Mace, so you don't get the 500k from their defender. However, along those same lines, their loot can get much more valuable than 1.5 mil on different tasks, which brings us to the Wilderness Slayer cave. First, I'll explain how the bots are exploited with some footage from Red. Then, Red is going to take me bot hunting and will make some absolute bank. I'm going to throw a lot of info at you, so listen carefully. Around 5% of all of these Wieldy Slayer bots have their private on. Red found that out by adding them to keep track of their names to report them later. So, let's just take an example of a kill. And we'll get into that right after this. The internet can be a scary place, and it's time to get safer with one click using NordVPN. NordVPN is so fast you can easily stream your favorite shows or game while connected, since they have a network of over 7,200 servers. You aren't compromising speed for security. You get both with NordVPN. Make sure to use my code PUGGERVPN and the link in the description to get 4 months free on a 2-year plan. That's nordvpn.com/PUGGERVPN. Nord isn't just a VPN, they also have Threat Protection Pro, which is advanced protection from malware, phishing scams, and other online threats. It checks the files you download for malware, the links you click, blocks malicious websites, and even blocks annoying pop-ups. Finally, Nord also has a dark web monitor which continuously scans the dark web to alert you if your details are up for sale. So, get an exclusive NordVPN deal plus 4 months extra using my link. That's nordvpn.com/PUGGERVPN. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. So, let's just take an example of a kill. Red just made a bot teleport from the greater demons in the Wieldy Slayer cave. The bot was using a cannon. They all do in the cave. This bot has its private on. After Red scared it away, it's going to hop worlds and go back. So, Red and Red Scout also hop worlds since its private's on. They know what world to hop into. After the bot banks, it's going to run north from Ferox Enclave, and you can see Red is scouting it. Then, Red logs in and teleblocks the bot at Greater Demons. But why didn't the bot teleport? And how did Red know when to log in? In the footage, you'll notice the bot is standing under a cannon base when it logs in. That's Red's cannon base. These bots break for 10 to 15 seconds and don't teleport from players if there is someone else's cannon placed in the spot they want to place a cannon. Red figured out if he places just the cannon base, they get delayed for slightly longer. So as soon as the bot hops worlds, when Red made an insta-teleport, Red hopped to the bot's new world and placed a cannon base before it got back. How did Red know when to log in? He's only got like a 10-second window. Well, remember when I said these bots have tick-perfect timing? Red started timing how long it takes each bot to get to each task from the time it leaves Ferox Enclave to the time it gets to each task. So, as soon as the bot leaves the barrier at Ferox Enclave, the timer starts and the trap is set for the bot. For example, Ferox Enclave to Greater Demons takes the bot 107 seconds. At 107 seconds, Red knows he can log in and teleblock it for the next 10 seconds. Now, the loot is 1.7 mil, but it gets much, much better. Let's take another example. This next bot's name is Lappy, and you can see Red scouted it from the Ferox Enclave after he made it teleport and hop worlds. That's the process. And of course, this bot has private on too. Now, very differently from the other bot, this bot is on a mage task in very different gear at Necrolls, and it uses Ice Burst against the Necrolls. Red beats the bot to Necrolls while his timer is running, sets up the cannon base, and logs out. Remember, if the bot sees Red before it gets to the cannon, the bot insta-teles. The timing here, 105 seconds, so at that exact moment, Red logs back in and is able to teleblock the bot. But Red also logs in on an alt account right next to his main, because the bot has auto-retaliate on with a multi-target spell. So when Red attacks it on its main, the bot attacks back, also attacking Red's ult and skulls. And just looking at the gear the bot's wearing, you know that loot is going to be really, really good. In fact, 8.2 million GP good. He gets the bot Scepter, Mage Book, Black Mask. Well, I mean, you can see, it's an epic amount of loot for a bot kill. It doesn't end there though. Since the bot's private is on, it'll go buy its gear from the GE and re-gear in about 8 minutes, and you can do this again and again and again until the bot's entire bank is gone. Over 50 million GP per hour, and Red says when a big wave of these bots start, as many as 10 have private on at any one time. So it's just constant hopping, skull tricking, and killing. Obviously I was pumped up after learning all of this, so it's time to go hunt these things. Red sent me a long list of usernames, literally hundreds of them, and it looks like 4 Slayer bots are currently active with their private on. But we can't hunt them yet. Take Tank SS for example. Let's turn on Entity Hider so you can see what Tank SS is doing at the GE. It's just running back and forth between the bank and the Grand Exchange. That's because Red had already cleared out its entire bank. He says usually it takes 1 to 3 days for the botter to notice the bot is out of gold and then go restock it. Meter Pillar is another example. This one doesn't just stand at the Grand Exchange, it runs back and forth from the GE to the Cannon Dwarf in a loop. It thinks it can claim a cannon it left in the wilderness, but in fact, Red took the cannon. While we waited, Red showed me each tile the bots use to place a cannon at each Slayer task and had me mark it so I know exactly where to log in. The bots have one specific tile they put their cannon on per task. Predictability is a huge advantage for us. And a day later, Red pinged me. A bot named Mezimania9 had re-geared and had a mage task.
And you're not going to you're going to attack once it skulls.
Oh yeah, I just skulled.
Yeah, I got the TV. Now I'm gonna just step to the side and you're good to go.
I definitely should have brought range, but it was still nice to slowly kill the bot and savor the moment of seeing a skull trick bot in absolute bank loot. He's dead.
And it's as easy as that. 1 minute and 5 seconds is watch leave Ferox, put down a piece of the cannon, it stalls on your cannon, and then wham bam.
6 mil loot. I didn't get the scepter. Looking back, I really should have smited it, and so the bot Mezzy didn't re-gear. It just broke again at the GE, so I don't know why it didn't have enough gold on it, but we couldn't kill it again. But not long after, the bot Mad Dog re-geared, so it was time to try again. After we made Mad Dog hop world so that we could set the trap, it turns out there was already a cannon down from another bot in the world Mad Dog hopped to, which made it even easier. And of course, I forgot to smite again. But this is a good time to point out that exactly what just happened to us is how Red discovered this exploit. He hopped into a world and a bot insta-teleported, but another bot didn't teleport and was stuck sticking on the first bot's cannon for 10 to 15 seconds before teleporting. A crazy coincidence to witness and the beginning of the rabbit hole. So, we didn't get Mad Dog's scepter. By the way, of course I'm giving Red all of the loot. I have no claim to it. This really is his show, so to speak. But now, let's see if Mad Dog re-gears so we can get it again. It usually takes around 8 minutes or so, Red tells me, and they do it at the GE. And there it goes. Gear is coming on. So, let's get back into position. The bot's going back to the same place. We just need to track it while it hops worlds. This time, I was pretty determined to smite. It looked like Mad Dog's prayers weren't going to go down though before we were going to kill him. I even boxed it for a good 30 seconds. And what we're doing here, in fact, is incredibly risky. If you guys haven't been to the Wildy Slayer Cave recently, there are tons of teams here hopping through and piling on people. You gotta keep your head on a swivel out here. It's multi. And as I kill the bot with a kick, its prayer doesn't go down. But somehow, we still get the scepter. I have no idea how, but 9.4 million GP of loot, which is so insane for a bot loot. And we could just do this over and over again until Mad Dog's bank runs dry. So here's a burning question. Why has the bot farm owner restocked about 7 billion GP to these bots without noticing that Red's been taking it? Over time, Red noticed these bots would get 99 Slayer, and then he'd never see them again in the wilderness. He kept looking them up on the high scores though, and saw that they started getting kill count in bosses that require high Slayer levels. Hydra, and more recently, Araxor. Now, just by standing at Edgeville Bank, every world I found at least 1 to 2 Araxor bots come through. At least 99 Slayer, thousands of Araxor kill count, most of them top 100 in Araxor on the high scores. And they got 99 Slayer in the wilderness. The bot farm owner likely just wants to break even or make a small amount of GP from Wildy Slayer, because the real GP is being made when the bots get to that high level Slayer boss. Wildy Slayer is just their training process. So I have a ton of tips about these bots going back 8 months. Like Red, I had been trying to kill them off and on for a few months, but unlike Red, I was not successful. Check it out. If I look up some of these accounts in the old tip-offs, those bots are still active today. This tip from November 2nd, that's over 3 months ago. In the email, there's a screenshot of the bot's gear from RuneLite with the username of the bot. I look up the bot now, it has 23 million Slayer XP and 8,900 Araxor kills, rank 34 in Araxor. Is this the most successful bot farm of all time? If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe. And remember, if you see anything suspicious in game or have a crazy story like this one, reach out to sirpuggertipoff@gmail.com and we can work together to make a video.